Carson, can you just take us through the mindset when they tied the game and you guys got the ball back, 2-minute drill to go for the winning score?
Yeah, I don't know. 2-minute offense is something that I think we stress a lot. It's something that we practice all the time. I mean, I think we practice it twice just this week on both of our, padded practice where it's like full, like we're going at each other, good on good. But something that you emphasize, because that's where games are won, right? Situational football, 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense. Things like that, and being able to execute in those situations ultimately win you football games, especially close ones like tonight. When you're playing against a talented team like that, it usually comes down to those, minor situations. So, our mindset was to go down and score the ball, and obviously we were able to do that and kick it in, which, gosh, I was nervous, but we got it done, and man, I'm just so excited and thankful for the opportunity.
Carson, after what you went through last year at the end of the season and the surgery, how important was this performance tonight? You had a good performance, and the victory. What does this do for you going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, but to be honest, for me, my focus was just on coming in here and competing my butt off and playing as hard as I can and preparing in every single way that I could, as much as I could. And then ultimately just coming out here and trying to execute. Win, lose, or draw today, we would have had 11 more games guaranteed, right? Obviously, it feels a lot better to come out of here with the win, right, in the fashion that we were able to get it done in. But man, the biggest thing that I'm so proud of our guys is we just played hard and we never gave up, right? Even when they were able to bring it back there in the fourth quarter, we didn't give up, and then we made plays when we needed to. So again, super proud of these guys, and we really just played really hard.
Can you talk about you were somewhere else last year. You were somewhere else last year. Carter was somewhere else last year. CJ was somewhere else last year. I know that's the way it works in college football, but how did this group of strangers become this team in a matter of weeks?
Yeah, I still remember the first day that I walked into the facility, and I mean, I was not even a month out of surgery. It was January 16th, and I walked in, and it was Coach Dawson, and it was CJ Daniels sitting at the table, and we looked at each other, and it was like we just knew that like what we had was about to be special. Never met the kid. Obviously, I heard of him, very talented. But it's like this look of respect of okay, we're about to do this. Like we got the talent and the guys to do this. And nobody really knew going into tonight, but now they know. So I try to tell people, but they tend to believe what I say, but that's fine. Actions speak louder than words. So
Carson, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
But anyways, how glad are you to get this first game over with? And prior to the game, were there a lot of Hurricane alumni people from the past that had along there encouraging you that it's time for you to go ahead and really take this program going forward? Because I know that the alumni base is really, really close here in Miami as well. And then you get the first one out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we were looking forward to this one big time, right? And especially for me, I hadn't played football in 8 months. And the last time that my team, obviously, was not this team, the team that I was on, the team that we played was them. And they beat us. So obviously, I was looking forward to it. And I mean, I have the utmost respect for Notre Dame. And I mean, their defense played their butt off tonight. They got a lot of talent on that side of the ball. And I mean, they're going to win a lot of ball games this year. So, I mean, it came down to situational football, and we were able to execute that at a high level tonight. But, yeah, I mean, guys coming in and speaking to us, and, I mean, it's super cool. I mean, the Hurricane, there's Hurricane legends that, run deep. The orange and green blood runs deep, and obviously it's, something that I'm thankful of us to be part of.
Carson, that CJ Daniels, his touchdown catch at the end of the first half, can you just put in the words what you saw from him as he made that play?
Yeah, well, I was on my back while I was, and then I just seen him in the end zone, so I had no idea that he had caught it like that. So I'm over there turning up because I threw a touchdown, whatever. I'm getting hype, and then I seen it on the big screen. I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, there is no way he just caught that. But man, I mean, shoot, he always tells me, man, put it up there, I'll go get it. So I mean, he proved that tonight.
And then Malachi Tony, 17 years old, doing what he was able to do tonight. Just what is stuck the most to you about since you got here, seeing him in the spring, seeing him throughout fall camp? What has stood out to you the most about what he has done to try to make his mark early?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was our secret little weapon tonight. I don't think he'll be a secret anymore. man, that kid is special, and obviously he's very talented and gifted, but the work that he puts in and his willingness to learn and his maturity for the age that he is off the charts. I remember the first day that I got in there with him, and you could just tell by the way he carries himself that he's a different type of player. And tonight, obviously, he was able to show that, but he's in the facility day in, day out from 5 a.m. to whenever everyone's gone. He's the first one in, last one out, like really is, and he's constantly meeting, constantly trying to get better, constantly picking my brain apart. He's made me better as a quarterback myself. So, man, I'm really happy to have him on our team.
Carson, obviously, there's so much growth ahead for this offense. Your thoughts just on all the things that looking forward to the season that you guys think should be able to do on offense now that you've got this one out of the way.
Absolutely. I think the first game of seasons are always very interesting now that I've been a part of 6 of them. But I mean, tonight I think we showed that we're physical. I think our O-line is really tough, really good, really physical. Like I said, they can move people. They protect very well. They played an outstanding game tonight. We have a lot of talent at wideout, a lot of talent in the backfield. Our tight ends didn't really get into the mix tonight, but also very talented and have flashed a lot throughout camp. But for us, I guess it comes down to just execution, right? I think there's some plays tonight that we'll go back and we'll watch the film. Obviously, I haven't watched it back yet, but that we were just off on, just off on a couple little things. And again, that's some of that might be first game jitters. Some of that might be, just working through the chemistry as an offense, right? And learning what I'm good at, like what our offense is good at, what type of run plays, what type of pass plays, right? I could go through a plethora of things, but we'll go watch the film and we'll see what we need to improve on because there's always things to improve on.
Carson, we'll do 3 more questions for Carson.
You played in big games before, and this is your first time on in Miami with such a long layoff. It's not your first debut as well in college. How did this game compare to the feeling of your college debut?
Obviously, it's a huge game. I mean, top 10 matchup. Coming into it, I mean, the bus ride over here, I was feeling it. Like in my head, like it felt like just like any other one of those top 10 matchups that I played in. But when I got onto the field, I just felt surprisingly comfortable. I just constantly reminded myself and told myself that I had been there before. There's a reason that I'm here. God's put me here for a reason, and I'm not in this alone. I got teammates around me that have been working their tail off, working their butt off, that are going to make plays. So let them make plays, and I'll just be me. And shoot, that was more than enough tonight. So.
Carson, they erased the tempo of the lead there in the fourth quarter, but you guys still had a tie game ball. What were you saying to the guys? You played a lot of these big games, big moments. You have a lot of young guys that hadn't been in that. What were you saying to them to calm down on that when you drive?
I'm telling them we're going to go score. Like this is what we do. We've done it before. We practice those situations all the time. And when you do it in practice, you do it in the game. That's why you practice so hard, so that when the opportunity presents itself in the game, it's like second nature, right? And us being able to go out and do that in the first game of the season is huge. Not only for our offense, but for our team, right? It kind of just shows what we have, to come in the future. So.
Carson, you've been used to an avid Georgia fan base. What did you think of the UM fans tonight?
Oh, it was awesome. The crowd was electric. Obviously, the orange out, the whole fourth quarter show. It was a lot of fun. And they showed up and showed out. It was loud in there. It was loud in there for sure. I think our defense was feeding off that energy, definitely. So obviously, super thankful for the Canes fan base, and hopefully we can keep some more games like that in the future.
Yeah, Carson, obviously you say a lot of guys didn't get in the mix tonight, but next week you have Bethune-Cookman, where the chance a lot of them will. What do you think you'll learn more about your team after Bethune-Cookman? Because obviously this was a tight contest that you're able to win. Next week, more players will play.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll go back and watch this film and fix the things that we need to fix, and then after that we go in there, I meet with the coaches, and we go watch the film on the next opponent. So obviously I haven't even watched a second or an ounce of film on them, so we'll get to that tomorrow, and then when the game time comes, we'll see what our plan is.